Hi, so I'm going to be showing you how to prepare an image for use in other documents with a transparent background. So I'm going to first go to um, Open, File Open, that's how I normally start, and just click on that. And I'm already in the file where I have the image I want to work with. If I wasn't, I could go to my desktop and then look through for the file I wanted, but I already have that, so I'll just go down. I'm going to use this one and open. This opens it at its original size and resolution. So if I want to change that, I can go to Image, Size, and have a look here. This change shows that the width and height are linked together. If I wanted to change that, I could click on that, but so I will change the height to 10 inches. Just delete that, and you see the width changes with it, and I'll change the resolution to 300. So I think that's a good size for me. I'll be using it smaller than that most of the time, so I won't have any quality loss. Okay, so I'm going to view here, and I'm going to fit on screen. Makes it easier to deal with. So I'm going to show you how to remove the background, and this is something you can do when you have quite a uniform background. The first thing we need to do is go to our layers panel. If our layers panel is not showing, then we may need to go to window and see if layers is checked. So I'm not going to do anything there, but if you may have something else clicked, you may have to look for it a little bit. So this is the background layer. A background layer actually can't be edited. So in order to edit this, to change it, we need to click on the lock symbol, and now we can edit this layer. Another thing you can do if you're concerned that you're going to make mistakes or not do a good job is that you can go to layer, the layers panel, and do duplicate layer. And what happens then is that you'll have two copies. So in case you mess up and you can't step back and you don't realize till it's too late, you can always start again. It's not really necessary here, so I'm just going to throw that away. Clicking on the dustbin symbol, but it's good to know how to do that. So I'm already on this Magic Wand tool. Now, sometimes tools are behind other tools, so your Magic Wand tool may be behind your Quick Selection tool, and to get to it, you will press on the tiny little triangle in the corner and keep it pressed down, and then you'll be able to drag through and select the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool selects pixels by color, and you have a few choices here on the control bar, which is at the top of your screen. It may be somewhere else depending on the version you're working with too. It could be down here. But basically you'll have the same symbols and the same choices. So look for it. So this is new selection. If you're on this, you can select something, and then every time you click, you'll get a different selection. If you want to deselect, I'm just going to show you how to deselect. You can go to Select, Deselect. Another thing you can do is you can do Command D on Mac or Control D on PC. So anyway, this is Add to Selection. So you would use this if you are cumulatively selecting things one after the other and you want to keep adding to your selection. This one is so that you can subtract from a selection. Maybe you've selected something you don't want. And this is a kind of intersect or overlap. So you can select something and then select something else and the overlap will be what will be selected finally. This is the sample size. You can work with a point sample. You can also go to an average, a slightly larger average, which might be better if you're not, your background or the thing you're selecting is not that homogeneous. You can kind of play around with that a bit. Now, the tolerance is pretty important because a tolerance of 0 means that your magic wand will only select pixels of the exact same color that you click on. And as you increase the tolerance, you will be selecting a larger and larger range of colors. And obviously you want to be careful so that you don't select colors that you didn't intend to select. So I have it set on 25. Since I'm using an average, I might reduce that a little bit. I'll reduce it to 20. Sometimes you have to play around with these things a little bit to find out what works. Anti-alias, I will leave checked because it smooths edges. And then contiguous just means that you only want to select areas of color, which is what you're selecting, that are next to each other. I could click on this background and the magic wand would select within my parameters that I've chosen, it would select all the areas of color in the image. But the problem is that sometimes I may end up selecting these little dots, which actually I don't want to remove. I want those to stay. I don't want holes in my image, and it may end up selecting some other things. There is some variation here. There's some greenish here, and if I inadvertently select green here, I may select other areas of green within the image and then accidentally delete them. So I'm going to keep contiguous checked because it's safer. In the end, I think it's going to be faster to do it that way. So now I'm going to start clicking on the image. So I'll click here. It has selected a good part of the image, but it's left some dots. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to Command D on the Mac. It would be Control D, and I'm going to increase my tolerance just a bit. I think maybe I'll try 30 and try again. Okay, so it's just contiguous. This looks fairly good. So now it has left out a few bits, but doesn't seem to have selected anything I don't want. It's good. Okay, so I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard, and you can see that a lot of that image is now transparent, which is great. So now it hasn't selected these areas because these were not contiguous to the other things I selected. So I can go through and just quickly select. Okay, I'm actually on this. I don't really want to be on that. I want to be on this. I'll just do Command D again just to deselect. Okay, and I will just carefully go through. Of course, you can zoom in if you're working with small areas. It's a good idea to zoom in. You can use Control, hold down Control, and press plus on your keyboard for PC, and on Mac it will be Command plus. So now I'm just going through and deleting all the areas that I think are background and I don't want. Oops. So again, deselect. I'm not zoomed in. It's a little lazy of me. If I was zoomed in, I could be more certain. So I'm trying to get the tip of my magic wand and to click carefully onto the spot that I want to delete. And sometimes that can go wrong. Tiny one. You see, I think I got everything. Okay, So now I'm going to leave the magic wand. I'm going to go to, I'll go to File, and I will save this first as a Photoshop. I will just hit delete, and the PSD is still there, and I will just write cone flower 2. I think I will save this on my desktop. So I have some choices there. I can press down and select desktop, format, Photoshop, and it's saving layers, but well, we only have one layer. Just hit save, maximize compatibility. Okay, and now I'm going to save a version to use in other programs which are not Adobe programs. So I will go to File, Save As, and leave the name. It's going to save it on the desktop again. And here the format, I will go to PNG this time. And I will hit save. I will save it as a large file where it will keep. And I'm done.